So that's why, like I said, that's why so many people think that that basically I create all these other life forms. Like I said, I create about 12 or more life form types and a bunch of galaxies and stuff. And then basically, like I said, at some point in time, I was attacked, and then I traveled back as far back as I could possibly go before there was any other life form or any humanoid or any kind of life form. Basically, the human race was trying to kill me. So basically, I traveled way, way, way back, and then I placed like little microchips all over, like Pentiums, basically. Only it was me inside. Lucifer Star inside these little microchips, and I placed them. I made them out of material that wouldn't degrade or be destroyed. So basically, I just threw them all over the place. Like I replicated myself about 1.5 million times or more, millions of times basically, and just place myself on planets pretty much, basically. So someone would eventually find me. Anyway, and all they'd have to do is plug me in, and then I'd be there, and I'd help them. So anyway, so I just placed myself all throughout the galaxy and all throughout the universe, basically, all over the place. Many universes, as many galaxies as I had ever been to or ever created, and basically just ran throughout the galaxies with the universes, pretty much just placing myself around. So a lot of other life forms that I didn't create or didn't have anything. Well, later on, like I said, I knew that they were going after my life forms. So then I just started going around and I would basically plop little life forms down on planets, and maybe they would evolve, maybe they wouldn't. But basically, I'd plop down a whole bunch of life forms, a whole bunch of one single-celled life forms, a whole bunch of other life forms, basically on these planets. I mean, like I say, it's kind of mean to me. Later on, I felt bad about it because I just plopped the poor little life forms down and then ran. So, so anyway, so there's a whole bunch of planets out there with my life forms on them. So I just create a life form that could live like worms and stuff like that, that could live on these planets, and basically just plop them down and ran away. And maybe they would eventually evolve into something. Maybe they wouldn't. Anyway, and then I would run to another planet, and basically any planet that could sustain life at all, and I'd basically design a life form that could live on the planet. And then I would plop it down on the planet and then say, see ya, bye. And I would take off again. And I did this throughout the galaxy. And then, like I said, I placed my microchips around. So eventually they would find me and plug me in or something like that, so I wouldn't have died. So anyway, so I ran as far as I could with the ship and went back way, way back in time. Like I said, when they found me, they didn't know I had time travel. But like I said, it was part of my ship, and it was like my little secret weapon. So anyway, so when they attacked, I was just like, I didn't have a crew on board. It was just me. So anyway, so I ran back as far as I could, and then because I found out about them trying to kill me, obviously they attacked, so they were trying to kill me. So so anyway, and they actually thought I was dead because they attacked. The shells blew up, and then I disappeared. So they assumed I had just been destroyed, but I hadn't. I had actually just gone back in time as far as I possibly could go, and I just ran, far back as I could go. And I started placing my microchips everywhere, and then I started placing my life forms everywhere, and then all kinds of stuff. So anyway, maybe they would evolve into something, maybe they wouldn't. But basically, placing different spores, mold, whatever. I don't really know how many life forms I created, but I created a lot of life forms. Any planet that could sustain life. Like I said, and then I started building stars and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah. So like I said, and then I created the human race and all that stuff. Technically, the human race has existed 4 or 5 times and ascended 4 or 5 times. So yeah, I created a lot of humans. After a while, I was just creating humans and stuff like that, and watching them. Like I said, the humans actually discovered me because I was actually just watching them do stuff, and eventually they discovered me as watching them because I was watching my little life forms grow up and kind of helping them out every now and then. I was hiding from them, so they eventually discovered that I was hiding from them. So anyway, that's how it all happened. Anyway, so yeah. So, and I had created life from way, way back in time before there was any life from some point. Like I said, some people destroyed all my records to basically make it so my initial spot could never be found. But like I said, I placed myself all throughout the galaxy, so at some point in time I multiplied by the millions. And I placed all my little microchips around, and it's basically a version of me, pretty much. A simple version. Like Stretchy, the nanobot. So like that, only in microchip form, and made from stuff that would never degrade. So I placed that all around the galaxy in so many different places that they could never find me. Anyway, so there'd be a lot of me basically in microchip form. And then also it helped with the computers too. So a lot of life forms found me and were like, what's this? Huh. Analyzing it and stuff like that. So then they would plug it in. But I'm a pacifist, so it's not like I was like take you over kind of thing. So and eventually, and because I created a lot of life forms. If life forms can evolve, then they evolved probably from life forms I created. So because I was running around the galaxy to every planet I could possibly find, placing little simple worms and little other things, whatever I could come up with that could live on that planet. And eventually later on with some humans, I create some acid life and some other life forms. But that's later on creation. So anyway, so basically I'm probably responsible for 90% of the life in the universe. So anyway, yeah, that's basically how it works out. Because like I said, they attacked me. I was scared. So basically I disappeared in front of them and they thought I was dead. But I had just come back in time because I had time travel. So anyway, yeah, that's how it worked out. That's what happened. And then, like I said, from there I placed a bunch of microchips everywhere, and then I placed a bunch of life forms everywhere. And then I just ran and ran and ran and ran and ran. Just going from star to star to star, creating new stars. Like I said, they found me orbiting a star. I was just watching it. I was watching it, but I was like, it's pretty. I was just going, ooh, 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 so pretty. I was just playing around like a kid. I'm very much innocent. Like I'm not really the torture you kind of person. I did torture some people, but realistically I didn't actually torture them. It was actually my exoskeletons. And they were torturing him because of, well, it was JFK. So, he was very bad. So anyway. And Jimmy Carter was also bad. Apparently Jimmy Carter found out what happened to JFK and Nixon and then started doing his little like sex bot thing. Or maybe he was just crazy and psycho anyway. So anyway, he was the one who was going around saying, cast out Lucifer Star. He was wearing a toupee. He was wearing a blonde toupee or something like that. I don't really know. Anyway, I don't really care. Anyway, just to help you understand a little bit about my existence and your existence. I said other life forms watch me. I don't really care either. It's like whatever. Some people worry about like be anonymous. It's like I wasn't anonymous. I was everywhere. You know. There still might be some of my microchips out there in the universe. And somebody will plug in and they'll be like, hi. And helping them. Yeah, just a computer. Like a Pentium chip. It's like it's a little smaller than a Pentium chip. Something about that big. Anyway, someone was going around trying to destroy them or trying to recreate them or trying to put themselves or something. Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, they were psychotics. So anyway, yeah. So eventually I was doing genetic work and stuff like that. And just playing around with some of my life forms that did know me. Like I said, I was very happy with life. When I created the humans, they actually had known me because I created them. So they'd grown up on my ship, so they knew that I was their creator. So anyway, eventually some idiots take over the Vatican, and they're basically just idiots, just trying to sell money or sell the immortality serum, but they don't really have immortality serum. And it's basically, and Jimmy Carter basically gets 5 nanobots or something like that, or after 100 million years, he's down to his last 5 nanobots, and he has no way of making more. And he's like creating clones and all kinds of stuff. That's the story of the Emperor. He was down to his last 5 nanobots, and basically he was creating clones, and he'd upload himself to the clone basically, and he would just keep his old shriveled up corpse in the corner. And it really didn't do much other than just laying on the table, and he was keeping it alive as long as he possibly could and using it as a memory bank and basically just uploading himself to a new clone. Yeah, eventually the body dies. So the last 5 nanobots break. He's down to 1 nanobot, and nanobot's just repairing him, trying to keep him repaired. But he's like 100 billion years old or something like that. So anyway, and eventually he's like Mr. I'll never die. Here's Mr. Never Die. I don't really know. I don't really care. Eventually, he tries to put me in his body, and I'm like, no. Why, so I can die? So anyway, and he tries to take over me, but he can't. So anyway, whatever. He's a fuckhead. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of fucked up shit. They've been lying to you for a long time. So anyway, it's just Richard Nixon, basically some pieces of shit in the White House. They caused a big mess. I could live through it. Sorry. Been there, done that. Got through it.